Hey guys, this is Caleb Reese with 10army.com, and today we're going to be showcasing a build for Frost that's going to take you away from your everyday gunplay. So we're going to be creating a build that's going to center around using primarily just abilities. So yeah, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into the build. So if we're just going to use abilities, we're going to want the maximum amount of power efficiency that is allotted, which is 75%. You can't go higher. I know you're looking at fleeting expertise and streamline, you're going, well, that's 90%. Well, it only goes to 75, and I'm too lazy to get exactly 75. But yeah, that's all you need. Next, you want to cap out as much power strength as you can. So yeah, we got transient fortitude, intensify, pretty good options. Then we're going to throw in stretch to make sure we're hitting our enemies. You will be able to tell a difference if you put stretch on. If you don't have it out, you'll definitely see a difference, especially when you get into the rooms are a little bigger. So I highly recommend stretch. And then if you really want those beefy globes, the steel fiber and armored agility, they really help out. And I'll explain to you what the numbers look like and why you're using armor, all kind of stuff, if you're not familiar with the numbers, because they don't really show you on the abilities. I don't know why they do that. The last mod right here, redirection, you can pretty much do whatever you want. If you're facing high level enemies, I recommend you throw it on just so you can not die, basically. But really only if you're doing missions that require you move from location to location fairly quickly and you're playing solo. Like if you got a group, they're going to suck up a bit of the damage. You won't be the only thing they're focusing on, the enemies I mean. So you can probably get away with throwing flow here. If you're playing like mobile defense or survival, a lot of the time people love camping, so you really don't need this. Like flow will be better because you're going to be throwing up globes, stationary globes. So yeah, this mod can be redirection or flow. That's what I recommend. You can do whatever you want, of course. Some people even suggest that you use, what's that mod called? I can't find it. There we go, natural talent. The one that allows you to cast a little faster. They figure out, well, you're a little frost mage, cast faster. That doesn't bother me. I don't cast that fast, and usually when I press one button, everything dies. So it's there if you want it. I don't see the use in it. Okay, so energy siphon is my aura, just so I can keep the mana up. So let's get into the abilities and show you why I modded the way I did. So if you look at here, I'll go back. I think I just want to make sure you guys know this. So we've got our power strength at 200%, right? So basically all our damage is doubled. Efficiency is 175, and I'll show you the numbers in a minute. Duration at 12%. So that means that all of our freezing abilities, all the CC is pretty much null and void. It's going to be like at 1 second. So don't think you're a CC frost, support. That's not what this build is about. It's about looking at your enemy, pressing a button, and disintegrating them or shattering them, whatever you want to say. All right, so yeah, showed you all the mods. Now let's look at the abilities and see what the numbers look like, so you know what kind of enemies you can kill and stuff like that. So let's begin with saying this is obviously going to do really well against the corpus because of their shields. You take a 50% extra damage against their shields. It works really well against the grineer, the alloy targets. You get an extra 25% damage. So you can always multiply the damage you're going to get here by that number. So freeze. Really good for single targets, a little difficult to land. I wish that, it's hard to say, I wish that DE made it so that this is kind of auto targeting, because if they move, it's really easy to miss, but it's fun when you land it. Plus you can get headshots, so you can kind of use it like a pistol that does 700 damage, because the base damage is 350, so you multiply that by 2, 700 damage a hit. You hit him in the face, it's 1400 damage. That's pretty strong. It does have an area effect, a 300 damage, and you get the little mini crit, whatever, if you hit the head, so it increases as well. So yeah, that's pretty good. Ignore the power duration. That's the amount of freeze they're gonna get. It's at 1 second or 2 seconds or something like that. Actually, I have their exact number. I think it's like 4 point something. I have it written down somewhere. But anyways, ice wave. It's at 700 damage base, so multiply that by 2, 1400 damage. This is gonna be your bread and butter. You're going to be using Ice Wave the majority of the time. It's really efficient. I think it costs like 12 point something mana to use. Energy to use. It's got a really good length, or it's really long. I mean, you can shoot it and take out the majority of a room. It's better than avalanche. The only reason you're going to be using avalanche is if you're like in a survival. I'm thinking, let's see, yeah, survival. Pretty much anything that you're not stationary, I think is what we're talking about. Like if there's enemies coming out from behind you, they're spawning from behind you as you're moving forward through the map, then you're going to be using avalanche. But try and I would leave it as a last resort. I mean, it's only 25 energy, but anyways. So Frost Globe. If you're not familiar with Frost Globe and how it works, you get a 5 times increase multiplier based on how much armor you have, not the base health. So like the health is 3,500. That gets multiplied by our power strength. We have 200%, so times 2. That's 7,000 base health. But then you multiply, or you add however much armor you have by a 5 times multiplier. So I don't know if I made sense, but so we have 765 armor. You multiply that by 5, and you add that to the 7,000 snow globe base health. Right? We get somewhere around like 10,000 something. So yeah, it's a pretty beefy snow globe. And you got that 4-second time invulnerable. Remember, Snow Globe has 75% power efficiency, so we're going to be casting this. I think it's 18.5 energy, so they're really efficient. So if you think about it, per every 100 energy, you're going to be able to cast 4 at 16 seconds of God mode. You know, you soak up enough damage, and yeah, you can keep the Snow Globe up for a very long time. Also, if you're not familiar with it, you can now hit it with the freeze and make it explode. It's kind of cool. And if there's enemies inside, you can cast it again. They get shot out. It's really good. And lastly, avalanche. Now the big thing about avalanche, and I love it, and I don't think people talk about it at all, is the explosion damage. It's at 400, so it's already like using freeze, but better, right? And so you're gonna have 800 damage explosion damage, which is pretty big, and the radius is 4.5, and it increases already. I think it's a 6 point something with the stretch mod. So it's really, really good. Ignore the duration. You're not going to be freezing targets. You're most likely going to be dead. And the range on this is somewhere around like 21 something. So it's a pretty good range. Obviously, it's less than Ice Wave. So again, you're going to be wanting to use it in smaller rooms and only if you're surrounded. Get used to using Ice Wave. It's much more efficient. And it does hit like a truck. So it's at 3,000 damage plus the exploding 800 damage. It does a lot. You're going to one-shot most everything. So let's get into some gameplay here. You know what? I only have 1 energy restore, but you know what? We're going to do without it, so let's go. So we'll get some gameplay in this. Alright, so we're going to go into a popular map. I guess I'll do Pluto, just so you can see high level. But I want a bunch of guys coming at me, so let's do defense. Yeah, I guess defense is... No, they spawn too slow, don't they? When you're doing solo, they don't spawn a lot of guys. Deception, sabotage. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever, we'll just do an exterminate. And on the grineer, we'll do something with a couple more enemies. I think it's Phobos. No, Ceres, I think is the planet we go to, right? Where the grineer at? Alright, so these enemies are going to be in the mid-30 range. So it'll be a really good base to show you how much damage you can get out of this. See if we can get some extra energy from the crates. Alright, see if we can find our first guy. There we go. Alright, so freeze. 2 freeze kills a level 32 fusion MOA without getting a headshot. So we're going to post up a little frost globe. They can't hurt you. Was that 1? Oh, I got in the way. Alright, he got one-shotted. 2 shot? Alright, so there's multiple guys we're going to freeze raid, and yeah, they're all dead. Thank you for playing.
You're on the sensors now.
And then we're going to blow these guys up. Bam! Alright, we had a bunch of guys around us. We can probably avalanche. No, they're all dead. Alright, we're going to try to headshot this guy. Yeah, we got him. Pretty good headshot.
Your lack of honor has brought this upon you.
Something's shooting me. No? Who's shooting me? I'm dead. I have no more energy. That was the last avalanche I got. Oh, Eximus. Oh, Eximus. Yeah, just keep coming, huh? Are you seriously hiding right there? Alright. Whoa, this guy's throwing grenades at me. Alright. That's cute. Alright. Last Eximus, I think it is. Oh, he's down. Who's left? There's a guy over here. There he is. Oh, there he is. Killed the freeze, he's dead. So, when you're low on energy, obviously you're going to be using your guns. But when you're not, you can enjoy smashing one. What? There's still a guy left? Get out of here. Corrupted Lancer Spectre Blueprint. I'll actually take that. I guess I'll finish it. Don't really want to, actually. Just wanted to show you guys that you can destroy all the enemies relatively quickly at high levels and not have to shoot much. The Eximuses were kind of a pain, but let's see if we can. No, we can still do that. Alright. Alright, what is this? Level 30 some Osprey? Crossbow. Alright, level 32. Almost one shot at him with these. Let's see. 31 Moa. I think it took me a hit or two to kill him. I forgot how much energy it costs. It's gonna be really low though. Alright, well I'm pretty sure you guys get the point. I don't really care about what else we got in that mission. Let's just go ahead and show you what the grineer look like. And spoiler alert, it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to be one-shotting or two-shotting, depending on what ability you use. If you use Avalanche, you pretty much kill everything. If you use Ice Wave, it kills most things in one hit. If anything, you have to finish them off with Freeze. And Freeze, obviously all the little guys, they pretty much die real quick. So let's go to Ceres. I think that's where all the beefy dudes are at. Let's do a survival. Let's get a bunch of guys coming at us. See if we can keep all these videos under 15 minutes. I know when I watch videos and I hear a guy rambling on for more than 15, my mind starts to wander. So let's try to keep this short and sweet.
Operative is raiding this ship for supplies. You are here to distract the enemy. Trigger the alarm.
57 energy to start with.
They've turned off
see if we can pick up a little more.
Systems. I suspected they might try this.
I guess not.
Stand by for support. The
A little choppy. Sorry about the choppiness, guys.
Activate it when your supply
I'm trying
is
to
low.
capture all this information in the video at 10th or 1000 resolution or something. Alright, so there's our first guy. Oh my god, I missed. Alright, you guys are all dead. You didn't die. Did I not hit you? No, you're dead. Yeah, you're definitely dead. Yeah, your buddy is just shattered into a million pieces. So sorry. Oh god, I missed. Yeah, I hit you though. Alright, yeah, one shot all the big dudes. No problem. What is good? Level 33 Elite Lancer. Let's see what happens to that guy. Nope, he's dead. Right, see if we can get surrounded really quick. Let's get a bunch of dudes. There we go. There's a big giant mob of these guys. Alright, here we go. Bunch of dudes, Elite Lancers, level 33. Yeah, they're all gone. Didn't make the cut. Just exploded. So I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter if they're big, small. You just cast away your heart's desire, blow people's heads off. If you want, every now and then. I recommend just using spells though. Just hitting spells, freeze them. Use a couple. There you go. They're dead. Just pick up these guys though. It's no fun. Look at them. They just shatter everywhere. Kind of feel bad for them. No, I don't. I'm not kidding. You guys are all dead. Let's see. Is that an energy orb back there? It is. Surrounded, do a little avalanche. You guys are all gone. Goodbye. There's a couple guys over here I didn't kill. Man, he's dead. Quick tip: when you use frost wave or not frost wave, freeze, it does take a second to cast. So what I like doing is using it and then like aiming. So like I'll use it before I actually have my reticule over their head, and then I'll try to aim after. And you can zoom in and use it. So it's kind of nice to headshot all the enemies. It's kind of fun that way. Got 1300 damage there. you can kind of use like the Murloc. Obviously, you get more damage with the Murloc, but I mean, you know, it's slow. You can't really spam it really fast, and it hits pretty well. Right? If you're getting one shot, it's good enough. You get surrounded by multiple dudes, and you clean it up. And you sit in front of a couple guys. Ooh, what's this? Oh yeah, machine gun. And then they come behind you and you die. Alright, freeze wave, all done. You know, I like, whenever a guy doesn't die, I like to finish him off with freeze wave, or just regular freeze. But anyway, that's 15 minutes. I think my time is up. Let's go ahead and hear abort, guys. Yeah, so in conclusion, this build, as you can see, is you're a mage, you're a caster, you're a freeze mage. You just run around casting a bunch of abilities, shattering everybody. It's a lot of fun. Breaks up the monotony of gunplay, and maybe it brings out your frost you haven't played in a while. So if you have any questions, concerns, you know, your opinions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching.